Okay, I'm going to tell you something that I probably have been doubting or hiding from myself for the very longest. Uh, I want a bigger life. I want a big life. I want a really big life. And for one reason or another, for a lot of reasons, I have been holding myself back. And I don't really want to do that anymore. I'm kind of sick of that spot. Um, and there's just so much to it that I just, honestly, I feel a little bit overwhelmed. Like, I'm a girl with ADHD. I'm not a girl, I'm a woman. See, there's this other thing about me being in my mind just a little bit mentally younger than I am. I want more. And what I know for sure is that I can't get it without doing shit myself, which is the hard part, right? Because as a neurodivergent girly, ADHD, a lot of shit has come really, really easily to me. And I have done a lot of shit that has come really, really easily to me. But the things that have come really, really easily to me are not things that I really want, if I'm being honest. The things that I really want are things that I'm afraid of. I want, like I said, I want a big life. I want to perform, which is something I recently have come to tell myself. Like, I want to act. I just want so much more for my life that I have not been able to give myself. And I'm kind of sick of that, right? And it's just like, how do you break the like mental cage? Essentially, like, I don't want to feel small anymore, right? I think about like even coming here and being on camera right now and sharing this and even like posting this is part of what I'm talking about. Like, I remember I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been online for a long time. Shameless Maya was somebody I watched way, way, way forever ago. I don't watch her currently, but I watched her way back when. And I remember when she first started her journey on YouTube, she was like, she just wanted to shamelessly promote herself and her artistry and things like that. And it's kind of like that. It's like, I want to be able to use my voice for myself. This sounds so like cliche, but as a person with like different kinds of complex traumas, it really is hard for me to speak out all sometime or speak and know my own mind in a way. So like, I was a person who, when I was coming up, I had to be in a lot of different environments. I was the new kid a lot of times. I went to like 9 different schools between kindergarten and 12th grade. And because I was in so many different new environments, I like to say I was like silly putty, or I still am like silly putty. If you ever play with silly putty or slime, you know, if you have silly putty, you get the little egg that it comes in, and I don't know if you can hear that or not. Maybe not. Maybe somebody drove past a motorcycle or dirt bike. Anyway, when the silly putty would come like in a little egg, and you could take it out of the egg and it would hold the same shape as the egg for a while, and then after a while it would just start to like melt out on the desk, and it wouldn't like adhere to, like, it wouldn't stick to stuff or whatever, but it would just like not hold shape. It would hold the shape of whatever environment it was in. And I feel like that has been the story of my life for such a long time. Like, every time I got into a new environment, I had to be like, okay, well, who do I need to be, or how do I need to fit in here? And the best and most confronting thing about my life recently, and I say recently, I mean like in the past several years, is that like my life is steady. My environment's not changing anymore. I have a relationship, I have a home, I have places to be, and it's just like, okay, now what? And that's really caused a like crazy existential crisis in me over the last few years. I've been going through therapy, and I'm so grateful to my therapist. I love my therapist real bad. And yeah, I'm really kind of trying to like find myself, right? I don't want to be working on myself as like a project forever, but I do want to self actualize. I do want to be the best version of myself. And where I'm at right now is the most comfortable version of myself, which, like, if you know, comfort equals death, right? It's just, I could continue doing what I'm doing and just be nothing, right? That's kind of how it feels anyway. Or I could like really reach up and do more to have a bigger life. And it's not just the mentality, it's the action, it's the motion, getting myself going. Because as I said, I am a neurodivergent baddie, and a lot of times, like, executive function is one of my biggest problems. Let's be honest. It's very hard for me to get myself going with my own internal intrinsic motion. And one of the things that my therapist said to me most recently is something that I've been resisting for a really long time. She was the wonderful thing about my therapist, I feel like, is that when she says something, it feels very neutral. It doesn't feel like a judgment, even if it's the same thing I've said to myself before. Like, for example, in one of our recent sessions, she was telling me, we were talking about stuff and how I don't necessarily feel internally motivated, and how, like, if I don't have a class or something that I'm going to, I don't really, I kind of get lost in the overwhelm of having so many options and so many choices. And she was like, well, maybe you just need an accountability partner. And she was talking about some other stuff and kept going. And it's just the way that she said it was like, ooh, like, I've judged myself for years for being like, yeah, you're probably going to need some external motivation. And the fact of the matter is, like, girl, yeah, you probably are going to need some external motivation. If you want to do things, you're going to need some sort of, like, triggers or cues or people checking in on you, which typically feels a little annoying or a little grating. And the other thing is, like, in the same vein, I've also recently been digging into stoicism a little bit. I have a lovely girl that I found on TikTok that I think is really, really great and really is good at introducing stoicism for the girls. Anyway, one of the main thoughts of stoicism is like the obstacle is the way. So, like, the thing that you are feeling the most resistant towards is the thing that you need to do to get through your resistance, if that makes sense, right? So, like, for me right now, one of the two things, I've also been reading about habits, of course, atomic habits and stuff like that, but I've been, aside from that, learning about keystone habits, some of the things that we do that really kind of change our mentalities of ourselves. And there's two keystone habits that I really want to create or really want to, like, develop within myself. And the first is exercise. Physically, we know it's good for our bodies. Two, it's good for your mind. And then also, it's one of those keystone habits where, like, if you can change your mind and your physical from being like, I'm not a person who thinks I can work out, or a person who really, really wants to work out but can't see myself as a person like that. And if you start to build that habit, you start to build trust within yourself, because now you're like, well, I thought I wasn't a person like that, but now I am a person like that. If that makes sense. I hope that train of thought made sense to you. But, like, I think that is kind of the path to self-actualization for me, right? It's like, I don't trust myself right now because I haven't kept my promises to myself, and that's just the truth. And I'm trying to, for the last few months, year and a half, whatever, plus, I've been, like, trying to be really accountable with the things that I'm doing that are not getting me to where I want to go. And for a long time, I didn't know where I want to go. And I still don't really know 100% where I want to go. But what I do know is I want a bigger life. And for me, that means that I need to speak. I need to be visible. And that's the other of the keystone habits that I was going to talk about, is creativity and creating. And yes, creating here, but just creating. I find myself wanting to create, and I'm being very, very drawn to art and creation and creativity. But every time I want to get there, every time I want to, like, actually do it, I find myself resisting it because I have this fear that whatever I put out might be something that people are not interested in, or might be wrong, or people might judge one way. And it's just my own internal fucking thing, right? And so, again, in making, like, a keystone habit and changing your mind about who you are within yourself, is like, okay, I want this, I want to do this, but I've been resisting it for so long because I feel so much angst about it. And it's like, okay, well, the only way that you're not going to feel that way is to do it, right? Like, you feel like you want to do something, but you're like, oh, all this tension. But the only way that you melt the tension is to do the thing. And I don't know if anybody understands why something like this would be such a scary thing to start with and really start putting myself out with. And I know people talk about fear of, being perceived, and it's that to some degree. Like, I don't really have an issue with public speaking. Like, I don't really have an issue with getting up in front of people and being the center of attention for a little bit. But I think that I do have an issue with being authentically myself in that same thing, right? Like, I have an issue with speaking my own mind while I'm up there. I can be in front of you and do a presentation and read off a thing or whatever. But to show my actual authentic self to people out there is something that's very, very scary to me. But I think it's something that's absolutely necessary. And yeah, so I for me, part of it is this. Is creating and being a creator and making a YouTube video and making a TikTok video and putting my opinions out there, yapping a little bit, and just kind of like letting that flow a bit. I want more of that, so I need to be here more. And I've also been introduced a couple months back to the idea of working with the garage door open. Working with the garage door open basically meaning like, I don't exactly know what the project is, or not necessarily I don't know what the project is, but like working on the project and letting people see you work on the project. And for me, the project is me. You know, again, I don't want to see myself as a project forever. It's not, but I want to self-actualize. I want to be a better version of myself. And to do that, I need to take a lot of action. And I want to take that action here with you. Looking at me. I guess. For real. So yeah. One of the first things I want to do is I really want to build a more portfolio career, like, right, a more creative career. And I actually I want to start acting. I still have this hesitancy with saying out loud the things that I really truly want, because I'm hesitant that they will go bad or that people will check in on me and I won't have much to show. So I'm putting it out there in that, like, hey girl, you, me, hey, hello, I want to be an actor. And one of the things that I know I need first and foremost is a headshot, girl. So I need to go and take me a headshot, because I have seen I joined the little Facebook groups, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen the Facebook groups where they're like, hey, I got a little student project, hey, a little paid project, a little unpaid project, or whatever. And if I'm going to be an actor, like, I need to be in front of an audience, whether a camera or on a stage. And I need to, like, make that happen. One of the things that I really want to work on in this season of my life is shortening the time between something that's in my mind, like an idea of something I want to do, and the actual doing of the thing, because that for me right now is such a process, right? It takes me forever to get something from here to there, and I really want the flow state of both, like, of creative projects. Like, I want to be able to get a creative project from my brain out into the world, whether that be, again, a video or painting or whatever. But even in just like the actions of my life, if I'm like, oh, I want to do a thing, I don't want it to have to take forever. Like, I need to get moving. I need to build my capacity, right? I feel like my capacity for a lot is quite low right now. And I think that I had a great deal of capacity prior in my life. I for sure experienced some, I was about to say autistic burnout, but girl, maybe, I don't know. But some, for sure, neurodivergent burnout, or some just burnout in general, about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. And real burnout is real. Like, people talk about burnout like all I can say about it at this point, because we can get deeper into it later, but all I can say about burnout right now is do your best to not let yourself get there. It is a very, very hard road back. And so I'm still on the road back. I say I'm still on the road back, and then, like, I'm not burnt out now, but I know that I can't ever get back there again. So I have to, like, make life a little bit different. And I have not been making any movement and making any action on that. So this is me holding myself accountable, saying it here out loud and proud that I want more life, that I have to work for more life, because nobody else is going to come and give it to me. And now somebody somewhere is going to see this and be like, girl, did you go do the thing? And I'm like, But yeah, no, I mean, I have to be accountable to myself and to my own dreams and wishes. And so I need to step out and actually put some shit to action. And that's what we're doing. Like, for real. Because I've talked about it before. I can't talk about it any longer. I'm sick of fucking talking about it. I have to fucking do it. Or I'm very much at, like, shit or get off the pot with myself, right? at this point. It's very, like, I don't want to be rough on myself. I don't want to induce any additional shame or anything like that. But it is very much like, you say you, like, in your mind, you fantasize about these big things, but are you making any actual action towards it? No. So if you're not actually making action towards it, then you need to let that go, or you need to make action towards it. It's, again, very much shit or get off the pot. And I guess I'm gonna share that. Anyways, yeah, I hope to see more of you. I want to at least hop on here. Like, I'll make fully produced videos. I have a one coming in the pipeline that is probably going to come. No, it's going to come after this. I'm going to post this pretty much in its very raw state. I might do a little intro, a little extra, a little intro, a little outro or something like that. But, like, I really want to post this in its raw state because this is just kind of where I'm at right now. And I would love to post a little yappity yap like this, a little girl chat about, like, where I'm at, and hopefully help you where you are, because, you know, becoming, oh, is my cat in here? Oh, she is in here. I didn't realize she was in here. You know, becoming your best self is not for the faint of heart, and it's not easy, at least for me. So yeah, like, I'll make more produced videos and do things. Like, I have lots to talk about and things I want to share. That's the thing. Like, I joke around and I say I'm the most interesting woman in the world. I know so many different things. I try so many different things. And I want to share so many different things. And forget a niche, girl. You're not going to get that here. You're just going to get all of my interests bundled up at once. My beauty interests and expertise, my skincare interests and expertise, a little bit of what I be trying to put on, a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of whatever. And I just want to, like, share it for the sake of sharing it. And for, you know, somebody somewhere will see it. And hopefully what I'm becoming will help you become too, girl. So let's go.